Alright guys, how's it going? As you've seen recently, I have been doing a wee bit of plug casting here and there. I'm really trying to concentrate back on the weights again, but in the meantime I have bought myself a reel to use with brake blocks. Previously I've just been casting plug with a Ultra Mag and also Black Max. Abbey Black Max. Using that and also an Ultra Mag, but a lot of people have said to me that really you need to use a reel with brake blocks for the plug. So I got myself 4500 Abbey, and I got the conversion bar from Black Dog, which is a simple process to fit it and cut out the top bar. I've yet to file the studs down a wee bit more. I think you can actually get studs from Black Dog itself. They just fit in, they're nice and flat, so I'll file them down a bit. In the meantime, go out and try some plugs. So I'll show you the spool here. The brake block. I'm actually using a lightweight spool, shallow spool, and one wee tiny brake block, so I'll let you see it here. Alright guys, let's have a look at this reel. I have to always remember to turn this on its side, because I'm so used to not using brake blocks, so I have to remember to, because if I open it the other way, the brake block will just fall out. So, it's a tiny block, as you can see. I'm using a shallow lightweight spool. I don't know if you can make it out there, you see the spokes of it? It looks like a wheel. So it's only about 5 or 6 mil deep there. And it's loaded with, at the moment, there is 145 metres of main line on. And there's about 4.5 metres of, about 8 or 9 metres of shock meter, 0.40. So let's stick this back together, go out and have a few chucks. I have cast it already when I had the top bar in place, and there was just almost slightly not enough braking, but I've since taken about 10 or 15 metres of line off and put a bit more oil in the bearing, so hopefully that'll tamed it as well. And what I also did, not that I know how much difference it'll make, I got some alcohol wipes and rubbed around the inside of the brake drum just to make sure that's nice and clean, free of grease. And what I've probably done now is put sweat on it, but anyway, so that's nice and clean for the brake block to work. So the whole principle will be the brake block reacts instantly, because the plug in flight, just in case you're not familiar, there's an 18 gram plug. It's about the same size as a 4 ounce weight, but only weighs 2/3 of an ounce or 18 grams. So it's not in the air that long and it slows down very quickly. So using a magnet, by the time you see it slowing down, you're quite slow to react, whereas this reacts instantly. If you can get it the right size brake block, that is, as soon as it starts to slow down, the braking backs off automatically. You can actually even see that by spinning it by hand. Let me just screw this back on quickly. Make sure the brake block's in there. Yep. So obviously, if you're using a mag, people talk about startup times. When I was using a magnet on the Ultra Mag for the 18 gram plug, with the magnets full on, at my setting for 18 gram plug, the spool was only spinning for about 7 or 8 seconds. Now obviously, because this is centrifugally based brake, there's no magnet in here at all. It doesn't really work till it gets up to speed, but if I was to spin this, the braking is instantly quite quick, but then it tails off as it slows down, so you'll see here. So let's give it a go. I can see it slowing down already. And then it just sort of runs and runs for a bit. So that will run for about 30 seconds with that wee brake block. So obviously you can't compare it to startup times for magnets at all. So anyway, let's strap it to the Profile Evo. See how we get on. It is a very nice rod, this Profile Evo. I still actually have it rung for a fixed spool. I'll just put a bit of tape on there in the butt ring. Just gives the leader knot a chance not to get fouled on the legs. So if the leader knot hits there, hopefully it just bounces through. 50. Then we have a 40 on the tip. 40. 30. 25 mil. 20 mil. 16 mil. And then we actually have a 20 mil ring. Now, I couldn't find a 20mm ring that fits this size of blank. It's only about a 2.5mm tip, maybe 3. So what I've done, I've actually taken that's a 20mm intermediate ring, the same as this. And what I've done is cut off that foot there and filed it down. And then put some hot melt glue on the blank to hold it in place, and then taped it on, and it's quite secure. So let's go down the playing fields if it ever stops raining, get a bit of reel cam and see how we can get on this 18 plug with a brake block reel. There's a guy cutting the grass, which is good because the last time I was down here it was up to my knee height. So we'll give him a wee while to get out of the way. 4 hours later. Well, the grass has indeed been cut, but unfortunately hasn't been lifted up yet. But it'll be better than nothing. Because it was a nightmare walking through it before. I don't even know who owns this ground. I thought it was the council, but maybe a farmer's just cutting it for silage or something. Well, sort of 1 mile an hour, gusting about 2, but it's very hot. I'm sort of going with slight, whatever breeze there is, there's a slight crosswind because I couldn't be bothered going over those paths of grass. I'm just going to go straight down the middle. So even though I'm casting that way, the wind's going roughly 45 degrees off. So I think that kind of wind, slight crosswind, I think anything over 100, 105 metres would be half decent. So well, we'll aim for 105, see what we can do. Right, first cast is 95 metres. Wasn't full effort obviously, so let's see if we can get over 100. No wind, or even like 1 or 2 mile an hour straight wind. I think the target will be 110. But it's roasting today. I think 105 would be good for me here. But let's see if we can get over 100 first anyway. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Jerked the rod a wee bit there at the end. Wasn't a clean finish. Knew that was going to happen. Fortunately it didn't break. So hopefully you can just pull it out. Bit better. That was 100, just exactly 100. The wind's still the same, nothing really. I think it'll take a big effort to get 105. But sure, time to get speedy on the turn and hit that bloody thing. In fact, the wind has picked a slight wee bit, as you can probably see in the trees behind, but it's going 90 degrees sideways, so I don't know where to. It's roasting. Don't know if we'll be bothering down there and measuring out a cord again or just carry on here. All I wanted to do is test out the wee reel. It's running lovely. Tiny bit of lift of the line, which isn't too bad. Bad conditions, so in good conditions it'll be sweet. Anyway, I couldn't be bothered picking them up, walking down to the other field, measuring out the thing again because I'm roasting here. So I'll do one more here and try for the 105 metres. See the plug's catching this grass a bit as well. I'm gonna swing it. Cut on it again. I should have put my orange thing back a wee bit. So what I'm gonna do, I'll take another 2 steps and add that on.
better.
That felt pretty good, but what the wind's done to it, I don't know. Let's go down. It's definitely going to the right now because I was casting straight down every now and then, having the lines blowing across these every time. Well, that was about 102, 103, but the wind is swirling about now. And to be honest, it's impossible to tell what direction it's coming from. Sometimes it feels like it's going with me. Down there it feels like it's coming headwind, so what I might do is I might walk down the other end of the field, down there, and cast one cast across with that slight breeze and just measure back with the trundle wheel. Back to the car, sweat's lashing off me here, it's roasting. The wind was indeed going slightly a different direction, and if I tried to cast with it, I would have been casting over all that grass. So I couldn't be bothered. I'm going to wait until the farmer picks it up in the next couple of days, then get down again. Have a few goes, but that really seems lovely. Cast really well. Lightweight spool. At the start, the pick up is instant. There's no delay. Very quick, lightweight spool. So we'll try again next time when the grass is all picked up and try and do better on the plug. And then I think in the next day or two we'll go down the beach and cast some leads. So catch us later, guys. If you're off work, enjoy the heat. It's be crazy next week, unfortunately. Even here in Northern Ireland, next Monday or Tuesday is going to be like 28, 29 degrees, which is unheard of. Well, it's not unheard of, but it's extremely rare. So it's very humid as well. Not quite as humid as those boys in Texas and Singapore and stuff, but humid for us. 55 degrees north type of people. Catch us later.